everyone, and welcome to ReinaMoe's DIY and Designs. And today we're going to work on a storyboard or a mood board for the upcoming wedding. So if this sounds like something that you would be interested in, keep on watching. We're going to start by taking our pearlized paper, which I picked up at the Dollar Tree, and I told you that I picked up several packages of different colors from the Dollar Tree, so I have gone through those packages and found just a couple of colors that would actually not necessarily coordinate but would go well with the color scheme that I already have for the wedding. But obviously the beige pearl will definitely work. And so what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've started embossing these pages with a frame as well as with a beautiful border, because I'm going to use this to help embellish that mood board. But I wanted to show you guys how to do that. And so basically what I do is I use these embossing envelopes along with my Evolution, or you can use your Sizzix machine or any kind of die cut embosser that you have. And I'll be putting a link down below for the Sizzix embosser in case you need that. But basically you just take the paper, put it inside the embossing envelope. If you want to use a die, you can use a die as well to emboss on. You just have to turn the dial here on the side or however your machine works so that you'll be able to just emboss and not actually cut through the paper. So as you can see from the ones that I showed you that I'd already done, I have two embossing folders. This one's the frame, and then this one is the beautiful border. So I'm just going to put my paper in between the envelope. I'm going to place down this rubberized mat, which is going to help guide the stage or platform, which is this, in to the machine. Next, I'm going to go ahead and place my pearlized paper that I've already placed inside of the embossing folder onto that stage. And then next I'm going to use the mat B, which is what they call it, and you place it on top so it's like a sandwich. So since this is behind the camera, I'm going to show you what it all looks like. And you can see in between, right about here in this area, that's where the actual embossing envelope holding the pearlized paper is. So now I'm just going to feed that into the slot here at the back of the machine, and then with the crank here. Now this machine is heavy and it has suction cups on the feet. On top of my tablecloth, it moves all over the place, so that's why I have the tablecloth wrinkled back to expose the table so that I can go ahead and I can crank the machine and start feeding the platform and everything through the machine. And it gives you a little bit of an arm workout, so be ready and prepared for that with this particular machine because it's manual. And once you get the embossing envelope free, it gets really easy to go ahead and process through. Now all I do is just take it out and voila, beautifully embossed paper. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with my second one. You take your pearlized paper, and remember this has a smooth side and a textured side. Just decide which one it is that you actually want to show for it. And for me, I like this textured side. I also like the back side because both sides are pearlized. But since I'm going to use the textured side, I feel on my embossing folder and I see which one has the most grooves to it, which is the bottom. And I say it's the bottom because it's labeled here Darice, the name brand, on the top. So I'm just going to place it like so. And again, put it onto the platform, sandwich it in between the mat B, take my rubberized sheet, which actually the machine grabs onto, so you have to have that, and feed it through the back of the machine. And it's easy to turn until you get close to that embossing envelope, and then you put in some work. So maybe that'll help tone up my chicken skin. That's what my son calls a chicken skin. And here we go. Embossed paper. And next up is where I actually get to start doing the fun things and actually decorating and preparing the mood board. So keep watching. So the next part to me is one of the funnest parts, because look what I got to find at Hobby Lobby. Beautiful fabrics. This is a beautiful, gorgeous crepe, and the reason I picked this as opposed to the satins that they had was because this crepe is actually the exact color that comes to my mind when I say champagne. So I picked this particular color out. Obviously I couldn't find winter white. All I saw was either ivory, which was just too dark. This was actually lighter than the ivory that they had, or it was bridal white and it was just too starch. There was no winter white. So I just went ahead and I made do with what I could find. This was the closest thing I could find to blush. And of course, you know, champagne, blush, and winter white are my colors. So I have these two colors, and then we're also going to do some darker shades of those particular colors. Out this really pretty neutral, almost like a rose gold color to go along with the champagne, and then I picked out a cranberry. So the next step is to go ahead and cut pieces of this fabric and to fix it onto Dollar Tree foam board. And when I come back, I'll show you what I've done. So what I've basically done is cut strips of all of the fabrics, and I've cut those strips in half so that they're this long. And now on those ends, I've taken a lighted candle and I'm just going around and singeing the ends so that I can get rid of any of the loose fraying parts. So I'm just gonna run it along the flame really quickly. I don't know if you guys can see that, these little threads and what have you. So once you run it along the flame, it singes those, and you don't have to worry about those little flyaways. So you just have to be really careful that you don't burn yourself. But it's real simple, and the fabric will curl under or over, which you don't really have that much control over, but it's not that big a deal. And so I just do the ends, and then I have a finished edge basically. So now that I've done that, I'm going to actually begin to, let's get rid of that one for safety. Now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and begin to lay out my strips according to whatever whim it is that I have. I'm going to use some of it to go around the edges of the border, and then also I'll have pieces looped throughout, and then I'll begin to start placing the pictures along with the cardstock that I've used in a very decorative way. And just keep watching if you want to see what I'm doing. I've placed the strips onto the board the way in which I want them for right now, and what I'm going to do is just turn the ends over, put a dab of hot glue on it so that the fabric will still be free flowing towards the center, but it'll be securely adhered to the foam board. And then when I come back, I'll show you how that looks. This is what your board is going to look like basically starting out. I've placed my fabrics going latitudinally or longitudinally, depending on the way that you actually have your board and you're going to be working your board, which I'm actually going to be working it like this. And so I'm going to go ahead and start affixing my, well, I dropped that one, but go ahead and start fixing my frames, which I'm going to cut down to where they're appropriate, and start affixing my pictures to the board. And when I come back, I'll show you how that looks. We put things down. I just kind of wanted to show you guys. I'm going to use double-sided tape that I got from the Dollar Tree, but you can pick it up anywhere that you can find it, and I'll do my best to try and remember to put a link down below. But for the paper, the pearlized paper that I've actually embossed, I'm just placing out the ones that are framed along the edges, and then these which are actual frames, I'll be placing throughout, and then I will be attaching the actual photos so that the story goes along with the board. And when I come back, I'll show you how all of these look placed down and set with the double-sided tape. So this is what our storyboard is looking like so far. Obviously I'm not done, but basically I'm just telling a story which will help the lady that's going to be actually taking my designs and actually placing them where I want them and decorating the venue. This is going to kind of help tell her, and this is board one of probably multiple because I'm going to DIY so much stuff. But anyway, these pictures here, you know what, I'm gonna wait until I have the board complete, but first step is to put your basis down, the venue pictures that you have, the event space that you have, place them where you want them to be placed, and then the next step would be to actually put whatever photos or depictions of decorations or whatever it is that you want in your space next. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I've adhered everything with double-sided tape. You can use hot glue, but use low temperature hot glue so you don't distort the photo. And when I come back, I'll show you when I have put the actual decoration pictures with these little frames throughout to show you what I want, where I want it. Okay, so here is what we are looking like. And I know some of you are kind of like, girl, what is all of this? Well, you don't have to worry because I'm going to explain it. Starting on this side, this is the entrance of the venue, which I'm showing you where the food is actually going to be stored back here, and this is the area in which we're going to actually be coming into the venue from, okay? And this picture here is a picture of curtains with the jabot to show you that in here, these spaces here where we'll be coming into the venue, I'm going to be having these curtains and jabots covering up this area. And that's to show you I will be sewing up some patterns. Depending on how many of them I need, I might get some help, but I went ahead and I found this pattern online so it could give me the swags and the jabots that I actually want. Now, this is the inside of the venue where we will actually be standing. So this is the back of the venue, this is the front of the venue, and along the sides, I don't know if you can see the Chevalier chairs there and tables, it's just a few of them. There will be actually to the side where everyone will be sitting. And so this is where I want to have the crystal wall of flowers and ribbons suspended via these very, very large balloons that will be helium filled. And I want to have obviously an aisle with flowers there. You also can see in this picture pedestals. Well, you guys know from one of the tutorials that I did in February during my month of love that I had these pedestals commissioned and I did this floral arrangement. So I'll be doing more floral arrangements and I will commission 4 more of these pedestals to be created through the Ironworks company that we have out this way, because I want 4 outside the venue and I want 4 inside the venue. So that's how that's gonna look. Also, these chandeliers right here, if you can get a good look at that, I created this chandelier probably last year or a year and a half ago, and in some of my earlier videos where you see the arch in the den where I have the arch standing and I had a little light fixture hanging in there, that was this chandelier. And I'm going to be creating more of these chandeliers because I'm going to have them hanging inside the venue as well as outside the venue. And if you guys want to see a tutorial on that, just let me know down below in the comments. But I'm actually getting some more of the crystals that I need to construct this in the blush color and the amber color. I already have enough with the clear here. And here, this picture right here is basically a closer picture of this spot here inside the venue. This is just another picture showing that I'll have curtains and swags hanging, and this is to show that I'll have the jabots, because I actually want the jabots to hang here and swags through here. I'm going to use those arches that I purchased to be back behind this partition here, so that you just see the curtains actually hanging from the arches. So from there, we'll move to this picture. This picture is just a beautiful partition gate that they have on the inside of the venue, as just like a standard standing fixture of decoration that has candles in it, which can be used. So this picture is to facilitate the hanging of vines and a few florals onto this gate to beautify it just a smidge more, because we're going to have all the candles in it lit. This gorgeous lady right here, that beautiful, beautiful statue is in the back of the venue, which you can see from the gazebo, because the gazebo is directly in front of it. As you can see, this blue down here is a pool. This is a pool area, which is off limits. However, I did have put into the contract that I will be able to get back there and take pictures. So because of that, I want a nice lighted curtain behind her. There's a building behind her, which is an add-on to the venue, and it's not an eyesore or anything, but I just don't want that seen. I want her to be the focal point next to me in my dress. So I want a lighted curtain. So I'm gonna attempt to try and find this online at a reasonable price, and if I can't find it, I can make it. This is just to show different draperies that they have from the ceiling. I would love to be able to have that outside, but I may not be able to, but that's the thought behind that. If I can figure out a way where it's cost effective and we can do it without damaging any of the structures outside, because this is open, this area is open, and I really didn't want to do pipe and drape in the pool area because there's no need for it. It's just a few pictures. So we'll see how we fix that. This is just a picture to just show you what the curtains and jabots and swags will look like as far as design, not color. And so let's see. This right here, this picture, this is where she lives. It's through the gazebo where we would be standing if we decide to use the outside of the venue and have an outdoors wedding. It's in July, Houston, Texas. Don't think that's gonna happen, but my Boo Bear loves the outdoors. So it really depends on how good of a day it is if we'll bring it outdoors. But regardless, the gazebo is going to be decorated. The inside of the facility as well as the outside of the facility will be decorated. So I've already purchased all of the draperies that I actually want to use on the inside. If you can see that bar right there, we will be hanging the fabric over that bar and have it swagged with some greenery as well as some flowers. And then on the outside of this, because here is a picture standing away from the gazebo, you see I'm going to have some draperies and flowers just hanging around the gazebo. And this is a vase that I got multiples of from IKEA, and here it is in person, so you can see it's a really good size vase. I'm actually going to be using this, which I'm going to paint that, and let me know in the comments below if you would actually like to see how I decorate that vase just to keep it from being just plain white. Right here outside the venue, if you can see that walkway, it's a nice long walkway right here. And I want to have these actually lighting the way with beautiful glittery candles to the venue. And this is the inside of, the outside picture of the back of the venue. And I hope that you can see the tables and the chivalry chairs that are in here. It is open windowed throughout the whole venue where the actual reception will take place. It's so pretty. And you know, you just passing by the place, you wouldn't even know that all of this is there. And there's so much room, just plenty of room. But anyway, it's so pretty. So I'm gonna have these hanging, sitting along the walkway, lighting the way. And then on another board, I'll show you the other idea that I have, that I'm going to be having some like shepherd's hooks that I actually found at the Dollar Tree. Also leading the way with some signs. And I'll probably do a DIY tutorial on that as well. I think I missed this. This photo here. This photo is an entrance. It's not the entrance, but it is one of the entrances into the facility, which we will not be using except for pictures, but it's just a gorgeous, huge metal gate that leads into such a beautiful entryway and walkway. So pretty. So what I'm going to actually do here, obviously keeping in line with this picture here, it already has all of this beautiful greenery, so I'll probably just do a couple of sprays that actually go on the gate. And then here, from the light source that they have, I actually want to hang a different colored chandelier. I actually want the amber colored chandeliers to go there, just to give that a little extra pop of color and class. And then in this particular area here, which is outdoors, that place I will use pipe and drape because it's very cozy, and I want to take pictures there of me and the wedding party in this beautiful cozy little I guess you would call it like a little cubby or whatever, but it's just so cute. So I want to have pipe and drape with some flowers here and some more pedestals outside. And so far this is the design for the wedding. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a few more embellishments on here, and I will definitely share that with you guys and show you the photos of this board completely finished, because it's almost finished. But I'm gonna add a few more embellishments that the lady that's gonna put up the decorations, for her to actually know where I want it to go, what it's gonna look like, feel like, what have you. And so keep on watching if you want to see the absolute final look of this storyboard. Hey everyone, this is the final piece of the storyboard, and what you'll see that I've added onto the storyboard are some beautiful diamantes and pearls that I picked up at Hobby Lobby right here, and I have some more that I'm waiting for from Amazon that are just absolutely gorgeous. But I added this in here because I'll be doing, obviously these embellishments are things that are be going on some DIYs that I'll be creating in some tutorials for you guys. But look just how gorgeous that is. And then you already know about the pearl wrap that I picked up on Amazon. This is the crystal bling wrap, and it's real crystals, y'all. I hope you can see how gorgeous and beautiful this ribbon is that I use on a DIY already. My table numbers, I've used these crystals on, and I'll be embellishing other things with it as well. And I'm just going to turn this upside down so you guys can see that beautiful sequin lace there. Embroidered sequin lace. It is just so beautiful. And there's an upcoming DIY that I have for you guys that I'll be using that with. But this is basically it. This is the first storyboard. It just kind of lets everyone know what it is that I'm looking for. And when you see this particular set of curtains with this swag and this jabot, this is where I want it. When you see this particular vase that'll be painted, you will know exactly where this vase is to go along this walkway, because I've discussed it with you and I've told you. And obviously when I sit down with the lady, we'll use a pen on here if need be, because this is really just a storyboard that is her work aid or job aid or whatever you want to call it, so that she knows exactly what's what. But I really hope you guys can see my vision here. I also hope that you enjoy this particular tutorial. If you guys do want to see the chandelier DIY, please put that down in the comments. Also, I don't know if you noticed, I've been wearing this hat for this tutorial. This is my winter hat when the hair is on its way to be wearing the turban that I normally wear in the different colors that I have, but it still looks good, so I don't necessarily have to hide it. I wear hats. So if you would like to actually see me make my spring hat, which I'll be doing that in a couple of days, if you want to see that in a tutorial, please put that down in the comments below and also let me know. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you can see what I see when I took these pictures and printed them out and just knew exactly what it was that I wanted, but I needed to be able to share it with someone else so that my wedding day goes off without a hitch as much as possible, and everything looks like it makes sense on the day of the wedding, like it makes sense in my mind. But anyway, I want to say thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you for watching the tutorials and enjoying them. I hope you can get something out of this tutorial. And on that, have a wonderful evening. Bye.